Hello guys, and welcome to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you some guidelines on how to move on without receiving any apology from situations, experiences, or from people. This is guidelines that has helped me move on and find that true peace and healing and growth that I deserve fully. I'm going to give you in-depth tips that can help you, and that hopefully you can learn from me, that you can take your power back by learning from me and my experiences that can show you that it never ever depended on that apology and wanting or receiving it. And let us get started. Number one is acknowledging the pain. I always used to think that wanting an apology was toxic, but wanting an apology is actually proof that you're allowing and validating what actually happened to you was wrong, that it is making you realize that you actually allowing the pain to linger on longer than it actually should be. When I wanted an apology from the situation or experience that has hurt me, I always used to feel and never realized it up until I started my healing and my growth, and realized that it was actually making you feel emotionally hostage to the situation, experience, and to the person. That I always made or wanted my healing to depend on that that apology in order to heal, in order to grow, and in order to learn. And when I realized that it never ever comes from that apology, that it, when you only move on, your peace, your growth, and your healing actually comes from God alone. And if you allow yourself, and it can also come from yourself, and if you allow yourself to give that space, that to work on it and grow from it and learn from it, then you will definitely find the true healing and the peace and the growth that I had and that I have today. Step number two is empowering yourself to let go. I just want to remind you that your healing and your growth never depended on that apology, but it's allowing yourself and reminding yourself to take your power back, but that you choose peace and you choose growth over resentment and validation. That is where you stepping into your self-worth, knowing what you deserve, and that you're not going to allow yourself to linger or suffer in that pain for so long, wanting that apology. Because imagine if you actually did receive those words, that apology, would it change actually the pain that you're feeling right now? I don't think so. And when I learned this was something that took a while for me to learn. But when I finally learned it, I think that is when I finally experienced the true peace, the true healing, and the joy. Step number three is you have to start understanding that people are just never going to apologize in your lifetime. Sometimes they will, and sometimes they don't. But people who never apologize, it can either be because they don't want to apologize, they don't have the courage, or they have so much fear to actually face the wrong that they did to you, or they just simply don't care and move on with their life. And that was the harshest thing I think I had to realize and understand. When I finally understood this, that the silence between you wanting that apology is actually speaking so much about that person, and instead of you, it's speaking so much about them more than you finally realizing that your worth does not depend on an apology, but it depends on you taking the steps, the actions, and the decisions to move on and heal properly, and stop allowing yourself to feel guilty or doubtful or judging yourself for staying in such or in so much pain for so long. It is you simply understanding that you deserve better, that you don't you yes, you deserve that apology, but do you actually really need it? You do not need it. And that is the reminder I wanted to give you in this video. It is something that took me actually a whole year and a half to understand, and when I finally realized it was the moment that I felt the most amazing healing and peace and growth come upon me and in my life, that it was actually allowing and stopping me from receiving the good things that I deserved at that time. It was making me and showing me that you depending on that apology is making you stuck in that situation for a longer period of time that it should have taken you to get out of it. That makes you see and makes you sometimes think that you don't deserve the good things that comes into your life, or that you get into your life, until you receive that apology. And that is where the unfair treatment comes towards yourself, and where it came towards me, because it was unfair to me. Because why? I deserve so much happiness, you deserve so much happiness, you deserve so much peace. Why are you allowing yourself to only want that peace and that joy when you get that apology, which will never ever happen? So that means you practically saying in your whole entire life, you never allowing yourself to be happy until you receive that apology that might never even come, that might never happen, that maybe might happen. But this is more so to just say that, what if it doesn't come? What if it doesn't happen? And that is the true key that you need to understand. This, when I found out about these are the things that I think a lot of us need to understand. This helped me a lot. It helped me finally understand that I think this is what I wanted to do, to help you and show you that it is not impossible to hold on, that it is not impossible to take your power back and heal, instead of just wanting that apologies. Number 4 is actually the closure part. My best step to help you through this and find that closure that you need, and start creating that closure, is journaling, prayer, and affirmations. The affirmation I want to leave you with is that my healing, my peace, and my joy does not depend on that apology, but that it comes from God, and that it is allowing me, and it comes from myself, giving myself the space to heal from it and to learn from it. Sometimes growth always doesn't have to be on depends on sometimes growth doesn't depend on the words or that apology, but it actually makes you realize, and when you decide that your story doesn't end with you getting that apology, but that your story is just starting, the story that is starting where you finally get up, learn, grow, heal, and find and realize that you deserve all the happiness that comes to you in your life. And remember that healing is not about wanting that apology today, but it is about, for the rest of your life, giving yourself the permission to move on, find happiness, and find that growth and the peace that you deserve, knowing that it's not about letting them off the hook, but it's more so to say that you're not going to bother yourself or wonder about it anymore, but that you're allowing yourself to grow, and that you're allowing yourself to build that life and build that happiness and peace that you know you deserve very much. I always used to struggle with this so much, that even if I was to accomplish something so big right now, I won't be so happy about it until I get that apology. And that was something that was stopping me. And that after I realized that my healing does not depend on that apology, but it comes from me taking the actionable steps to give that closure to myself and creating that closure in my life, that my story starts with me creating this channel and recording this video, helping someone or helping you when you watch the video, showing you guidelines and giving you guidelines that it is not impossible, and that your life does not end if you don't get an apology, but it is actually just beginning. And finally, we have reached the end of this video. I hope that this will help you and show you that you don't need their words or that apology, but that it helps you and shows you that the same closure I found is the same closure that you can create by working on yourself, and by me working on myself. And when I took the steps to actually record this video and creating this channel, starting this journey to help people that is in need of it, was the day I showed myself that I'm starting to create the closure. I am showing myself that I'm starting to create the closure and giving myself that healing and that joy and that full happiness that I deserve. Let this video, rather when you watch it, be your sign and be your guideline to show you that it is possible and that you can take your power back. And thank you so much for watching this. Please do let me know in the comments if there's anything else you want to know, if you want to know more about this, or if you have any tips or guidelines. And remember to keep gracefully growing, and I will see you